Hello, welcome back to our next tutorial. Now, today we will continue with our work, which is this one. But I just noticed something. Um, I I totally forgot to show you how to add a door on the curtain wall, and that was a big request from all of you, as I understand. So let's focus on that. Let's first put a door on this curtain wall, and then we will continue doing other stuff that we need to do. Okay. Now, for our project, I think it would be wise to have a door. I don't know, somewhere here. Okay, or maybe here, like these two panels can be converted into a door. But let's have a look at the site from the south facade. So I'm going to south elevation, and when we look at the project, let's switch to hidden line. Okay, now yeah, this elevation I can see, well I think it would work great here. And the height is sorry, not tag, the dimension from here to here is like 210. That's what I also thought when I was first preparing for it. So I think this would work out great. Now what we need to do is we need to first load a door family for the curtain wall. Okay, and we do that by not going to door. Curtain wall doors cannot be added using the door command. We'll be using the curtain panel change, let's say, command. So we'll do that. I go to insert, load family. Okay, and here what I need to do is go to US, but doors. Okay, that's a bit counterintuitive, but anyways, curtain wall double glass. This is a door type that I want to add. There's another one. There are two doors for curtain wall: double glass door or double storefront door. Double glass door is good enough for me. Click open. Now it's loaded into the project. Now what we need to do is, let's go to the 3D view. Here, first I want to get rid of this, okay, and this, so I don't want a million underneath, and also I want to get rid of this. Okay, now the next thing that I want to do, I want to get rid of this grid line because I want to put the double door here. Okay, so how we do that? Well, we basically click on the grid line, okay, and then here edge remove segments button appears. I click on edge remove segments, and if I click on this grid line, it disappears. Okay, now basically I removed that segment from the overall grid line. Okay, now the next thing that I need to do is I need to select this panel. Okay, how do we do that? Well, I go to the edge of the panel and I click tab key on my keyboard. As you can see, as I cycle between different elements, the grid, the curtain wall panel, the glaze panel, is ready to be selected. Then I click the mouse key, and then it's selected now. Now I click on the system panel type. I can choose a solid or glaze, but now I have the option to create a curtain wall double glass door, which I loaded into the project earlier. Okay, by using the insert and load family command. I click on this one. Now it converts the curtain wall panel into a door. Okay, in this view, basically I use the detail level fine to make it appear like that. I can use medium, and then then the door handles disappear. Okay, so door handles only appear if you're in fine view. Okay, yeah, so this is how you add a door to a curtain wall. And now if you go to the level 1 floor plan, you will be able to see the door opening like that. Okay, so this is how it works. Now since we are here, I was thinking maybe we should start talking about the families. Okay, so today we will learn how to create a family so that we can design our own objects. Okay, so you cannot rely on the objects in Revit, the pre-designed objects in Revit. Okay, so you want to be able to flexibly, let's say, create your own objects. Okay, so and in that respect, today we will work with this simple table object, okay, which is the one that I always do in Revit, okay. And then I will quickly show you how to create, for instance, a custom window for your project. Okay, so this is very critical. Now, for that, let's save this project. Okay, we have fixed the door. We have few more elements missing here, but we'll focus on that in the next week. Okay, but today let's focus on creating a family. Okay, now families are prepackaged objects, as you know. They are parametric, and then you can basically create different types for a family, and then you can load them into your project and add them as you wish. Okay, so let's close this one so that we are not bothered by our project. So how do we start a family? Now, in the welcome home screen, okay, you can create a new model, as you know, or you can open a new model, and also you can open an existing family, or you can create a new family. Okay, this is the button that we use, and when you click on new family, you have to start with a family template file. So where are the family template files? Well, C, program data, Autodesk RVT 2025 family templates, English. Not English Imperial, English. Okay, so this is where we are starting from. Now, why do we need to start with a template file? The thing is, as I mentioned before, we are basically working with a classification system of different objects, okay? And that classification system makes sure that the software understands what type of object it is and what kind of attributes, what kind of, let's say, data that it has to include, okay? You cannot create a universal single object which has every possible parameters that you can put in it. That would be wasting a lot of energy and time, okay? So, for instance, for a window, we have particular properties, like window has a width, it has a height, I mean, it has, let's say, sill height, and there are many other few things. But the issue with that is that a window has a particular object, let's say, particular set of object properties. Same thing with doors. Same thing with columns. As you can see here, you have the general groups of elements that you can create, like a door, like duct cross, like electrical equipment, like furniture, like generic models, generic lighting fixtures. And here's another thing. Lighting fixtures, for instance, you can have a lighting fixture which is ceiling based, so it looks for a ceiling to be attached to. Okay, you can have a lighting fixture that is wall based, it's like a wall applique. You can have a lighting fixture that is freestanding. You can have a lighting fixture that has different properties like that. Okay, linear ones, for instance. You have mechanical equipment. You have profiles. You have specialty equipment, structural, let's say, columns, foundations, framing, you name it, right? Windows. So today we will start with metric furniture. Okay, so this is what we will be starting with, metric furniture. And when I choose metric furniture, RFT, Revit Family Template, if I open, basically it brings me to an interface like that, which is allowing me to create that object. Okay, so now we are at the reference level, okay, which is the plan level, and here I can use some of these geometry creation tools to create my object. So what do I want to do? I want to create a table. Okay, now with the families, as you know, you can add dimensions, you can add, let's say, specific properties. These are the parameters, right? So you should be able to add these by means of, let's say, parametric data, okay? So for these, the best thing is to use, let's say, reference planes, okay, to, let's say, fit your objects into that, let's say, design environment, okay? So in that regard, if you want to create a, this is going to be a simple for the start. It will going to be as it's going to be a simple rectangular table, okay? Now first we have to define the boundaries. What are these boundaries? The width, the length, and the height. Okay, so these are the boundaries for that table. We use a reference plane. So under create, we use reference plane. But before we start, let's save the file. File, save as, a family, okay? And where do I save it? I want to save it on D drive, okay? Arch204 and family1, that's okay. Now I will create a reference plane for the tabletop. We call it tabletop, right? So the rectangular plate. Reference plane, and here I will start to the, and our units are millimeters, by the way, let's not forget, okay? 600 millimeters is good enough distance. Let's start from here and come down to here. This is the first one. Let's continue. 600, come down to here, and from here again 600 to here, and here 600 to here. Now this will be the boundaries for the tabletop. Let's have a look at it from the front elevation. At the base we have reference level, so this is where the table will be placed when you place it on the project, okay? So I need to put another reference plane for the tabletop, okay? So I got to create reference plane, so from here somewhere here, okay, and this is going to be the reference plane for the tabletop, okay? This is done, and the height is here like 1200, which is basically 120 centimeters. This is okay, we will change it anyways. So let's go back to floor plan level, okay? What I need to do, I need to put some parameters, okay? What do I mean by that? First, I need to make sure that the table is centered, okay? So I need to use measurement command, create a constraint between these, let's say, reference planes for equality. So when I create the measurement, equality constraint is off. If I click on it, it is now on, equal, okay? Good. So I want that first. Second, I create a measurement between two ends, 1200. That's good. Let's do the same thing for here. Inequality. Good. Then again, dimension for the edges. Perfect. Now the next thing that I want to do is I want to also, let's go back to the front view. I want to create a height measurement for the tabletop, okay? It's now here. If I click on this reference line, reference plane, and if I click here, and if I put like 75 centimeters, is now there, now at a very good height, okay? Perfect. Now the next thing that I want to do is, of course, save the file, and I go to reference level, okay? Now I need to make sure that these are defined as some parameters, which is width and length, okay? So if I click on this measurement, here it says label, okay, none, and there's a little button next to it. If I click on this create parameter button, I can create a family parameter, and the name of the parameter will be length, okay, and it will be a type parameter. So different types will have different lengths. It will be a length. Of course, I chose the dimension tool, and then it's going to be related to length. And group the parameter under dimensions. Perfect. If I click on OK, now this is defined as length. Okay, let's click on the other one. Click on the create parameter. Now I type width. Okay, again, family parameter, type, length, dimensions. Click OK. This is defined as width. Let's go to the front elevation. Let's click on this one, and what do we put here? Of course, height. Okay, and this way now I have three parameters already set up, which is the edges of the tabletop are defined as with the dimensions for the edges of the tabletop are defined as length and width, and the height is defined as height. And now I think I made a typo. It should be, oh, it's a height. Wait. Now, how do we change that? How do we change that? I go to this family types, and here height, I put it wrong, right? So can I change it here? No. But if I click on this edit parameter button, okay, family types parameter button, I can height. Now it's correct. Okay. Right, so we have the height, we have the length, we have the width. Now, what do we do? Let's start modeling, okay? So, I go to reference level, but the thing is, first, we want to create the tabletop, and we want to start from here, okay? This reference plane. So I go to create, I click on extrusion, okay? But now work plane I have to set, okay? I want to start from here. So I click on set work plane or pick a plane. I click on pick a plane and I choose this plane. Now it tells me, well, I should go to a different view for you to be able to create in this plane, which is the floor plan. Okay, open that view. Perfect. Now it allows me to create a rectangle, okay, with that tool, and the depth is 250. This is okay, 25 centimeters for the start is fine, but we will change it. Don't worry about it. Okay, and I will start from this corner and go to this corner. Okay, and I will lock all these edges. Why do we lock these edges? Because we are constraining the edges of the tabletop to the reference planes that I have just created. So what does this mean? When I create this tabletop, it will basically move when these, let's say, reference planes move apart or close to each other. Now, the next thing is that, actually, for depth, let's do that. Let's put it minus 100, okay, which is 10 centimeters below that level, okay. And if I click on apply, let's see, and if I click on finish edit mode, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, nothing has happened here, but if I go to the front view, as you can see now, I have the tabletop which is appearing below the table height, okay. If I go to 3D view, or like this view 1, what is going on here? Okay, there's something weird here. What is that? First time I see something like that. Okay, and now in the 3D view I can see the tabletop properly. Perfect. Now let's go back to the front view. Now there is another thing that I want to fix, and that is, how can I control, okay, the thickness of the tabletop? Okay, we can put a parameter for that too. So what I do now is I use the measure command, and I pick the reference plane first, and second I pick the bottom edge of the tabletop like that. Okay, bottom edge, and as you guessed, it will be 100. Okay, let's put it here. Now the next thing that we do is I pick the measurement, and if I create a new parameter for that, tabletop thickness, okay, now it's going to be a new parameter for me to change. Okay, and basically I can change it. It's 100 now, that's okay, we will fix it. Now the next thing is that we want to put the feet, right? So how do we do that? I go to reference level again, okay, and I go to create extrusion, okay, and this time I want to create 4 rectangles, okay, starting from these edges. Okay, let's start from here to here. Okay, let's make it a bit smaller, 80 by 80 like that. Okay, and then when I create it like that, I click on the padlocks to lock the edges of that rectangle to the reference planes. I do the same thing for the next one. Again, this will be a bit rough, but yeah, yep, like that. And then again I lock it with the padlocks. I do the same thing here, yep, like that, and I again lock it to the edges, and I do it from here, yep, like that, and I lock the edges, okay, like that. Okay, now the next thing that I need to do is I need to set the thickness dimensions for these table let's say legs. Okay, so for that I have to be, this is the tricky part, I have to be within the edit mode. Okay, create extrusion edit mode. I shouldn't be leaving the mode, and I use the dimension tool again. I click on dimension. Okay, next thing that I do is I click here, then I click this edge, and I have one dimension. I click here, click this edge, sorry, I click this edge, I have another dimension, and we do the same thing. Click here, click this edge, another dimension, here, here, dimension. So what I'm trying to do is set the dimensions for the legs. Okay, now these are set. Before I leave, I need to set the parameters for these dimensions. They should be all the same parameter. Click on Control key on your keyboard, select more than one dimension, particularly in this case 8 dimensions, and click here, and for that I will choose leg width. Okay, click OK. Perfect. Now we have another parameter for the legs, and the extrusion, if I go to modify extrusion, the extrusion, in this case, this is done now, right? The extrusion is minus 100. Well, let's make it minus 600, 60 centimeters, but we will fix it, don't worry. Apply and click finish edit mode. When I finish edit mode, now we have some legs. Let's see what they look like. Well, they look like this. Let's change the scale to 1/20 so that it looks nice. Okay, 1/20, perfect. Now let's go to front elevation and see what happened here. Now we have legs, but legs are starting from top. No, legs should start from the bottom edge of that extrusion, and the bottom of the legs should reach the reference level 0, right? So how do we do that? I click on that extrusion. As soon as I click on it, you can see these little triangles showing me the handles for moving it. Now the first one, I click on that shape handle, extrusion handle, and I move it to this reference plane. As you can see, it has picked it, and if I leave it, I can lock it, I can constrain it. It's constrained now. Now I need to again use this one, move it out first, and then I will stick it to the bottom of the tabletop, and then I lock it. Okay, now we have a table which looks like a nice table. Okay, as you can see, this is the table that we have. Now in this case, we want to flex our model. Let's save the model. So what do we mean by flexing the model? The thing is that because we gave some parameters, if we change these parameters, the model should change its shape quickly and properly. Okay, so this is what we want. So how do we do that? Well, we can change the parameters using the family types menu. So I click on family types. Okay, as you can see, now we have the height, leg width, length, tabletop thickness, and width for the table given us here. Okay, so let's play with height. 750, let's make it 900. Click apply. Yes, table is moving up and down. Okay, we have to also check with the front view to see if the legs are not moving up and down. Okay, let's bring it down to 450. Apply. Okay, perfect. It's going up and down. So let's leave it at 750. The next thing is that we want to check if it is the length and width is working. 1200, let's make it 800. Apply. Yes. Let's make this one, I don't know, 2000. Apply. Perfect. So the length and width, they're working perfectly. So let's make them 1200 and 800 so that it works. Okay, this is what we want. Now the next thing is tabletop thickness. What happens if we change it? Let's make it 25 millimeters, 2.5 centimeters. Apply. Perfect. That is changing too. Leg width, let's change it to 40 millimeters. Apply. Perfect. Leg thickness also works. So now I can confirm that this model works perfectly. Okay, so this is done. Now let's save the model. Okay, let's continue with creating some different types for our table. Okay, so what kind of types can we create? We go to family types. Okay, in its current setting, I can create a new type. This is the button for creating a new type. I click on new type. I say type 1, let's say dinner table. Okay, click OK. A dinner table is created. I can change, the height is 720. Okay, the leg width is fine. The length is 140 centimeters, which is 1400. Width is 800, that's okay. Tabletop thickness, not 25, but let's make this one also 40 millimeters. Click apply. Okay, this is a nice dinner table for, I don't know, 6 people. Okay, click create a new type, type 2. Okay, let's say coffee table. Okay, a tiny IKEA lack. Okay, tiny table. Height 450. Leg width, let's make it 50 millimeters. Length, let's make this one 600. Tabletop thickness, again 50. Width, let's make this one 600 too. Click apply. Okay, this is an IKEA lock table. The next one, new type, type 3, cocktail table. Perfect. Cocktail height, it should be higher, 900. Leg width, let's make them really thin and fine. 25 millimeters. The length should be not 600, but maybe 750. Tabletop thickness should be very thin, 1 centimeters, 10 millimeters, and width 750. Okay, click apply. Yes, this is nice. Okay, now let's flex the model again. This is what we call flexing. Control save. Click on family types. If I change between different types and click apply, the table should change its size and shape properly. Perfect. Okay, now I want to check if it works with the project. So I want to go open. Oh well, it was there. Project 2. Okay, and our project is open. Okay, we are in level 1. I go to this one. Load into project. I will. The only project open is this one, so I can now. Okay, I can now put the table here. I can put few copies. Okay, let's have a look at it in 3D. Yes, our new tables have appeared. I can choose this one and choose type 2 coffee table. I can choose this one, choose type 3 cocktail table. Now you understood where these four elements, where these type information is coming from. Okay, so I go back to the family. Yeah, the information is coming from this menu. So I add as many types as I want to that menu. Okay, so that is the idea. Now, since we're here, let's change the material for this element. Now, if I click on an extrusion like this one, okay, in its properties, there is a property for material, and it says by category, no material assigned, as you know. So what can I do? I can click on this little button there, and I can use a material as I want. Okay, so like I can make it glass, I can make it wood or whatever. Okay, but I don't want to do that, because if I do that, the material will be fixed for that element. But what I want to do is I want to allow the users to change different materials for the different types. Okay, so like for the cocktail table, you want a glass top, but for a dinner table, you want a walnut wood top. Okay, so how do you do that? I click on the extrusion, and for the material, instead of choosing the material directly from here, there is a little button next to it, and it says associate family parameter, which means that I can now create a new family parameter for that property, which is the material. I click on this button. Now I have a new possibility to create a new family parameter. And I click on new parameter button like that. Here I can put the name for this parameter, tabletop material. Okay, it should be a type property, not instance. I can group it under materials and finishes, and that's it. I click on OK. I click on OK. Now I can set this as I wish. I will do the same for the legs. Click on the legs. For the material, I click on this one, and I say new parameter, leg material. Okay, click on OK. Perfect, done. Now let's go back to the family types. Let's go to the first one, dinner table. As you can see, materials and finishes, leg material. I click on this. Now I can put, like here, like AC materials, wood, yeah. I can use birch. Click birch. I can change the tabletop to birch. Okay. Dinner table is fixed. Apply. Okay. Now let's go to the coffee table. coffee table material, I can assign again home, AC materials, wood, and I want to use walnut. Perfect. Okay, apply, and for the tabletop I want it to be walnut. Perfect. Now apply, it is saved. Now go to the type 3 cocktail table, and for the leg material I want to add metals, yep, polished steel, stainless steel, polished, perfect. Click OK, and for the tabletop I want it to be glass. Okay, and apply. Okay. Now let's go into the fine view. Let's go into consistent colors. As you can see now, this tabletop is clear. Okay, and if I change it to dinner table, apply, as you can see now it is different. Let's go to textures. As you can see, I go to coffee table, it will be darker shade, of course. If I go to cocktail table, it's going to be glass and steel. Perfect. Now load into project. It will ask me to overwrite the existing version or overwrite the existing version on its parameter values. This is the one that I choose because it will change the parameter values. And if I go to the 3D view, okay, like that, and if I choose realistic, okay, let's see if it's going to work. Oh, my computer is really pushing it hard. Yes, as you can see, glass is glass, wood is wood, and walnut is walnut. Okay, now we have done that, and can we do more? Yes, there are many other possibilities. So I want to save this file, save as a new family. Okay, let's save it as family 2. Okay, and save. I want to change some things. What should we do? I want to change the way the top is created, and also the legs and how they are sticking out, and etc. If I go to reference level, and I should change to type 1, apply, okay, dinner table. Now if I click on these extrusions, okay, I'll delete them. Okay, I'll get rid of them. The top is fine, but for these extrusions, what I want to do is I want to, let's first create new reference planes. Okay, reference planes, and this time these reference planes will dictate where the legs will start from. Okay, let's start the legs from an inner, let's say, corner. Okay, and let's put some measurements. Okay, and like that, and like that, and like that, and for these I will assign a new leg top center distance. Okay, this is done. So I will make sure that these are the same parameter. I can select it from here, and that's it. Okay, perfect. Now I want to create extrusion starting from here, okay, to the bottom. Okay, we can do that. For that, what I want to do is I want to create. I can, but the thing is that I want to do one more thing, and that is I can use this edge. No, can I? No. I think leg top center distance. Let's create another one. Okay, another reference plane for the bottom center distance. Okay, and again create reference plane. Okay, this time it's going to be from here and to from again here to here, and then from here to here, and then from here to here. And this time I will call it again measurement from this to this, and sorry, from this to this. Okay, from this to this. Okay, from this to this. Yep, and from this to this. Okay, now I pick these. Sorry, and this, and I call it leg bottom center distance. Okay, click OK. It's now set. Basically what I need to do now is I will create, again I go to create. In this time I want to use blend. Okay, basically I will create two different shapes and they will be blending. Blend, and then I will start now blend. We are editing the top now. See, edit top, and I use the sorry, we are creating the base. I'm sorry, we're creating base. Okay, I use circle. Base will start from here, and it's going to be something like that. Okay, 30, let's say, and from here again like that. Okay, and here like that. Don't worry about the diameters. Okay, like that. Now for that I need to define, okay, measure diameter. For this there will be a diameter. I will set it. For this there will be another diameter. I will set it. This there will be another diameter. This there will be another diameter. And what will be the diameter? I will pick the diameters and I will again like that create a new parameter for that, and that will be called leg bottom diameter. Okay, click OK. They're all fixed, they're the same, they're 60. Now leg top diameter, so I need to define that. So I go to here, edit top. Okay, continue. Oh, we have a mistake. Expand. Okay, more than one left not allowed. Oh, I had to do it only. Wait. Cancel. Could it be with the parameters? Okay. The top. I think I have to do it only for one leg at one go. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. Okay, let's get rid of this one. Okay, this is done. Edit top. Okay, I will continue with the top part like that. So top will be a bit larger. Okay, and this one I will also create a diameter. Okay, and then I will give the leg top diameter. Okay, okay, now let's finish it. Perfect. Let's finish it and see what it looks like. Let's have a look at it in the front view. Okay, now I will pull this one to the base and lock it. I'll pull this edge to the bottom and lock it. Okay, perfect. Now I will I'll go to the reference level. I'll pick it. Okay, then I will basically mirror it to the other side, and then I'll pick two and this one and sorry, control this one, and I will mirror these to the other side. Okay, perfect. Let's have a look at it now. Yes, it looks good. Okay, now the next thing that I can do is I want to flex it. Save it, go to flexing. Okay, so top leg bottom diameter, let's make it like 25 millimeters. Yes, works. Leg top diameter, let's make it 50. Apply. Yes. Let's have a look at it. Leg top center distance 150. Top center, perfect. Leg bottom center distance, let's make it 25. Apply. Perfect. As you can see, now we have created a table where the legs are spreading just like that. Okay, and then you can again select these legs and then change the materials, etc. Work like that. Now the next thing, final thing that I want to do is I want to play with the extrusion of that. So I go to reference level, I pick this extrusion, okay, edit extrusion, okay. Now what I want to do is I want to move this to here. I want to move this to here, okay. And again, I want to move this to here, and I want to move this, sorry. Move this to here. Basically, I will create, I'll move this to here. I'll pick this one. Right. I should have, yep, perfect. Yes. The next thing that I want to do is to use this command, start end radius. Okay. So start here, end here, radius will be like that. Okay, I will do the same thing, start, end, radius. Hopefully it will work. I don't know, fingers crossed. End, radius. Sometimes things don't go as we wish, as you know. Alright, this is done. Finish. Perfect. Let's have a look at it in 3D. Yes, now the edges are rounded. Now, these edges are rounded based on the bottom of the table, the distance of the bottom center. So if I change it, bottom center distance, let's make it 50. Let's see if the top will be changing too. Yes, as you can see, top will be much larger in terms of roundness. There will be final thing that I want to do, and that is I want to create a bevel around the edges of the table. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, for that I need to create a void form. Okay, so I click on a void sweep. Okay, so basically I will create a profile and I will run it around, and that will create a void around the edges of the table. Okay, that's what I want to do. So I click on void sweep. Okay, now I need to pick a path, and the path will be these edges. Okay, so click on that, control, click, 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 and click. So the sweep will be around it. Finish. Now the next thing is select a profile or create a profile, edit a profile. I want to edit a profile. A profile will be created here. Okay, as you can see, this is where we are. Edit profile. In this case, I want to start somewhere here. Okay, and I want to go like 30 in this direction. I can turn on chain, and I want to start from here to bottom like that. Sorry about that. 30, and I can go like this much. Okay, then I can use this one from here to here as a diameter like that. Okay, perfect. Now what I did is I basically created a shape that will run around, and let's go to thin lines. Okay, yeah, it will run around and create a basic development, but I think this is not right. Let's get rid of that. Why not? Well, we will move it that way, and I want to create, yeah, something like that. Okay, perfect. So let's run it. Okay, let's finish edit mode. Now we have created a void form. Okay, and as you can see, the void has already taken a piece of wood. Okay, but the problem is that void needs to be maybe we can put a parameter, edit sweep. Okay, and then we can basically edit the profile, and we can put a dimension to, sorry, this is okay, this is okay. What is the dimension between these? What is the distance between these? Can I put, yeah? I cannot pick this one for some reason. I should be able to pick it. No. Okay, it says 30. Alright, we can change this to the tabletop thickness. This way, yeah, see? This way, finish edit mode, and finish. This way, what will happen is that it will be always, let's say, below the thickness of the tabletop. Okay, now this, I'm not sure if it's going to work. Flexing this will be a bit tricky. Okay, but what I can do is, I can try. Go to this tabletop thickness 40. Let's make this 25. Let's see what's going to happen. Apply. Well, there was a very little bevel. Okay, let's make this 40 again. It works. Let's make this 60. Well, it kind of works, but you can figure out how to make it work even better. You can basically play with these formulas and stuff and work. Oh, when I said formulas, there are also some ways that you can create, let's say, these parameters to be in relation with each other. Okay, for instance, the length and height of the table. Okay, length and width of the table, for instance, you can create a parameter. Length of the table or width of the table equals length. I use the same words, length, and also you have to pay attention to the capitalization or like upper lowercase letters, times star 2 over 3. Okay, so it basically takes the length and converts it into width. Okay, click apply. Now see, it has created a particular length, and the length, let's make it 120 centimeters. Apply. See, width is automatically created as 800 centimeters out of that. Okay, click OK. Basically, you created a parameter that is dependent on another parameter. There are many different ways that you can create associate parameters. You can even create if-else clauses. Okay, so you can basically create formulas that check something and based on that do something else. Okay, for instance, you can make something appear, make something disappear. Okay, so this is what we can say about the families. I wanted to show you a few web pages. Okay, yeah, Beam objects. This is where you can find commercial objects, but we have to be very careful. Okay, if you download an object that is like 5 megabytes, 10 megabytes, okay, in terms of its size, for instance here, this armchair looks great. Let's click on download. Okay, now it gives me option to download different types. I want to download only Revit, Revit RFA. Okay, this is what I want. As you can see, you can even download materials and textures for that chair. And I don't want AutoCAD. I only want Revit RFA. I click on download selection. So let's see how big it is. Yeah, 1.9 megabytes. Okay, I mean, not too bad, but still you have to be careful because they add up. Okay. There are many different objects that you can search here. There is another site. This is Beam object. You can also add an extension to Revit to directly search inside Revit. The next thing is NBS Beam Library. This is a UK government website where you can download objects. Okay, and you can browse objects, and there are many different things that you can find at these web pages, but I mean, this is a bit less lacking. I mean, best is Beam Objects website. You have to get a user account and use it there. Now, let's go back to the Revit again. I wanted to show you only one more thing. A few minutes, but we'll be done there. Now, we have created a table. Let's have a look at an existing window and see how it works. Okay, so open a family, and in this case I want to open a window. Okay, see, we are under Revit Libraries English US Windows, and I want to open a simple window, fixed window, fixed transom round, nope, fixed, this one, RFA. Okay, open. So let's have a look. The thing is that you can learn a lot by looking at an object, existing object. Continue open the file because it's in the project. So you can have a look at an existing window and learn a lot about from that. Okay, you should do that. So what is happening here is that you have some extrusions as usual. Okay, and there are different materials, there are different options. Let's have a look at the floor plans, reference level. Now, as you can see, there are many reference planes, and these extrusions are related to these reference planes. Okay, so as you can see, they are all created here. Now, what I want to do is click here, new, family. I want to create a new window for you. Okay, metric window. Metric window. Okay, I can use metric window with trim, but I want to use metric window just. Okay, click open. See, now we are welcome with a wall. See, window creates an opening in an existing window wall and then places its parts in that wall, right? So don't forget that. Now, what should we do? Well, we should create some reference planes. Okay, so let's have a look at it from exterior first. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, the width, height, and default sill height is already defined for us. So if I go to the type, family types, height, width, okay, and sill height, which is again an instance parameter. Oh, no, it's here. Default sill height. It's given here, okay, but it's also an instance parameter that you can change. Now, what I want to do is I want to create a frame. First a case, then a frame around that window. Okay. Now what do? We create reference planes. Okay. And that reference plane will be something like that. Okay. This is 1. This is 2. And this is 3. And this is 4. And we will give some measurements. Okay. Aligned. This, this, and this, and this. Okay, right. Now we will pick these, and we should call that trim width. Okay, the trim around the window. Click OK. Perfect. And let's go and fix it. Let's make this one 6 centimeters, 60. Apply. Okay. Now we are on the exterior. I want to create an extrusion. Okay. And I want to use the rectangle. First, from this edge to this edge, I will lock the edges. Okay, like that. And then from inside, like here to here, and I will lock these edges too. Okay. And for the extrusion depth, let's put 5 centimeters so that we can see. Click finish. Okay, it's finished now. Let's have a look at it in 3D. It's not here, but it's here. Okay, this thing. Let's have a look at it in the plan level view. Yeah, this is the thing that we created, but we want it to be on the outside. We move it out like that first, and second, we move this edge and we place it at the edge of the door wall like that. Perfect. Now we need to define the tab like that, the depth for this trim, like this one, and for this I create a new parameter, trim depth. Okay, click OK, and I go here and I put 10 millimeters for that. Okay, click OK. Perfect. Let's have a look at it in 3D. Yeah, see, now there's a trim around the window. I need to do, let's go back to the exterior view again. Okay, I want to put the case inside the window. That's what I want to do. So create extrusion. Okay, from this to this again, lock, padlock, lock the edges so that it's sticking to this interior edge, and then from here I will do something like that. Okay, but now I need to create the dimensions for these. Okay, and this time it says 18. Perfect. Yep. And from here to here it's again 18. From here to here it says 22. Up. Okay, like that. And from here to here it's again, yeah. Now I pick these and I will call this case thickness. Okay, click OK. Now they are all 18. And modify finish extrusion. It's finished. Let's have a look at it in the plan view. Yeah, this is the case. It's perfect on the front, but here I need to stick it to the back. Perfect. This one is done. The trim I can mirror at the center like that. Perfect. It's also now fixed. Let's have a look at it in 3D. As you can see, inside we have a case, we have the trim around, we have also another trim here. Okay. Now, let's create a new file, new project. Okay. Architecture project, and let's create a wall there. Okay, I don't want to ruin the firehouse project wall, just like that. Okay, from here to here, that's good enough. So let's have a look at it here. Yep. Now let's save this file first. File, save as family. Okay, and we will save it into here, family 3. Okay, save. Then load into project. Project 2. Okay, perfect. Now we have a new window. Oh, not project 2. I'm sorry. I should have loaded into project 1. Load into project 1, which is the new one. Yep, here. As you can see now, when I bring it, it creates a window for me. Okay, let's have a look at it in 3D. Yes, these windows have created an opening and they place themselves. How do I flex it? If I choose the wall and if I change it to something larger, does the window work? No, it doesn't work. Why? Because this side works, the trim, but the other side, the trim, has stayed inside. Alright, we have to fix that. So I go to level 1. Sorry, I have to go to reference level like that. So now this one is not working. Okay, we know that. So I go here and I go here. I first lock it here. It was not locked. And I come down here. Then what do I need to do? I have to put a dimension. And I have to give that dimension what? The same parameter as that trim width depth, which is 10. Okay, perfect. Now let's save it. Load into project 1. Okay. Overwrite the existing version, its parameter values. Yes. See, now it works. Now if I change, let's switch to fine view. Now if I change the wall type to small one, window also works. Okay, perfect. Now let's go back to the 3D view of that window. Let's switch to 1/20. Perfect. Now what do we need to do? We need to put a frame and also glass in that window. Okay, so I go to interior view. Yep. Now what I can do is I can create extrusion. So like here, from here to here. Of course I need to lock. Don't forget that. We do that all the time. If you don't do that, things will go really mad. Then I will make something like that. Yeah. Then I will, as you guessed it, I will make some measurements, like from here to here, and then from here to here, and then from here to here. Okay, sorry. Yep, like that. Then I pick these and I create frame width. Okay, click OK. They are all now 56. Perfect. Finish. Yes, this is good. Let's have a look at it in the floor level. Yep, perfect. Now this is inside, this is interior, this is exterior. So here I want to move it inside like that. Here I want to put it here. Okay, perfect. Actually I made a mistake. I should have used the edges of that. I didn't do that. Well, we can do it. Let's make a measurement from here to here, and that is the frame width. Okay, so I will use the same thing with the frame width. Okay, 56, perfect. But it didn't work because I didn't lock it here, so I need to I need to lock it here. And do I have the thing? Yes, 61 it says. Okay, perfect. Now let's have a look at it in 3D. This is exterior and this is interior. It looks good. Okay, but I still want to, I go to interior. Okay, I need to fix something. Yep, I pick this one, edit extrusion, and I want to fit these edges. Remove constraints, unlock, now lock, unlock, move it to inside, lock, unlock, move it to inside, and lock. This is going to look better. Unlock, move it to inside, and lock. Okay, now this is going to be better. And yeah, these I have to change this. Sorry, I need to change it to this. Okay, for this I need to change this to this. Okay, and for this I need to change it to this, and for this I need to change this one to this. Perfect. They're all same, and I need to give them again frame width, perfect, and modify extrusion, finish it. Perfect. Let's have a look at it in 3D. Yes, now it looks better. Okay, and on the inside it looks also better. Perfect. Now load into project, overwrite the existing version its parameter values. Yes, now we have the window frame 2. See? Now the next thing that we need to do, we need to add the glass. Okay, but we need to flex it first. Choose the window, go to edit type. Okay, case thickness like 2 centimeters, frame width 8 centimeters, height 160, trim depth 2 centimeters, trim width 8 centimeters, width 80 centimeters. Click apply. Let's see if it works. Yes, it works. It works great. Okay, except that it doesn't look very nice. Well, we pick it, edit type. I think yeah, the case thickness with frame width 8 centimeters. Let's make it 6. This is a bit okay. This looks better. All right, now let's go back to the model. Okay, here. Now the next thing that we do is we can go to, doesn't matter, interior, exterior. Go to interior. Okay, now next thing that we will put is create another extrusion from this edge to that edge. Lock the edges. Okay, for depth let's make it like 20. Click OK. Finished. Right, so let's go to the reference level. Let's see where it is. It is here. So I want to push this to here. Okay, lock it there and push this to here, and then I can put a measurement from here to here, which is now 20. Okay, and let's put it here, somewhere here. Okay, and this glass thickness. Okay, click OK. Perfect. Now one final thing. This is the glass. Okay, for material I can directly say that it is glass. Okay, and the rest I can say like this one, that one, the frame, and let's turn around. Well, finally this. I can select material. Well, I can create a new parameter, frame material. Okay, click OK. Okay, and then here for the frame material, where is it at? Here we go. I choose wood. Okay, wood, birch. Okay, okay, perfect. Let's save it. Save. Load into project. Project 1. Alright, existing version. It's parameter values. Perfect. Let's have a look at it in 3D. Like that. Let's switch to fine view. Let's switch to textures. As you can see now, this is a perfect glass and wood window that we have just created. Okay. Now the next thing is that, of course, in the plan view, what we see here is the model itself, but we don't want that because this is a bit too complicated and it doesn't look like that in reality, right? So we want to simplify the view in the plan view. And what can we do? Well, for that we can learn actually a lot from this window. Okay, if I click on an element, okay, like that, and if I click on visibility graphics overrides here, see, now you can disable the view of this element in different, let's say, views. Like here, plan view or reflected ceiling plan view, this element is not displayed. Only in 3D models, 3D views, and front, back, left, right views, or at different detail levels. Remember the door for the curtain wall, it didn't appear in medium or coarse views, only in fine views. It's because that element was ticked like that. Okay, now let's escape that. Let's go back to this one. Okay, so what do I want to disable in different views? Like this frame, and let's have a look at it in 3D actually. Yeah, the glazing and the frame. Okay, visibility graphics overrides. I don't want them to appear in plan views. Okay, and also I don't want them to appear when they are cut in plan views. Click OK. This is done. Now glass and that is not appearing in the plan views, but the case and the trim will appear. Now load into project. Okay, let's have a look at it in the project now. Alright, existing version is parameter values. As you can see now, all we see is that. Now for that, maybe I even don't want to see the trims. Okay, so I can again go back to this. So I can select. I can have a look at it in 3D. No, not this one. This one in 3D. Okay, I can pick this one. Turn around. Pick this one and also the case. Pick this one. Okay, visibility graphics edit, and I want I can ask, well, yeah, no, I don't think we can disable it in the particular view with just plan view. Well, no, I'm not going to change that. I was wondering if I could change it only in the plan view in terms of like different detail levels, coarse or medium or fine, but it doesn't work. All right, now this is how it is done. There is another thing. Actually, I wanted to show it to you, and that one was about the door. So file, open a family, okay, and not windows, but doors. Let's go to doors. All right, single panel. Yeah, that's it. Or double flush panel. This one is good. Let's open it. Okay. Now, continue open the file. Now, in 3D, this is what the door is like. Okay. In 3D, this is what the door is like. But in the plan view, as you can see, there is this opening thing, right? So that thing itself is a swing, okay? And swing is a two-dimensional object. And if I click on Visibility Graphics Overrides, as you can see, the element can be seen at different views, but if I click on the other elements, you don't see them in plan view. Okay, so this load into project, let's say project 1, and if I load it into here as a door, okay, I can see this graphic but nothing else. Okay, the rest is disappeared. And if I go and have a look at it in 3D view, I can see the 3D view, okay, 3D element. One thing that I'm a bit puzzled with is how this thing appears in 3D. How it doesn't disappear. It disappears in 3D views. I'm not very sure. Maybe it's because of its property. Maybe it's because it's made of some annotation. Yeah. Just because it's an annotation, I think it doesn't appear in 3D views. Yeah. Families, doors, door swing single. This is the thing. Okay. This is a door swing single, and it's another family that's embedded in this family. This is another thing. You can add different families in different families. Like, for instance, for this door, okay, you can add a door handle. Okay, let's do that quickly, and then we'll be finishing. Okay, I'm already 1 hour and 23 minutes. When I'm in this family, I go to Insert and Load Family. Okay, I go to Doors, Hardware, Exterior Pull or Door Handle level. This is good. Open. Okay, now I go to Reference Level like that. Okay, I can see the door things there. So I go to Create, Components, Door Handle comes, and I can put the door handle something like that. Okay, and then and I can mirror it like that. Okay, and let's have a look at it in 3D. Oh, but of course I have to I have to adjust the level. Why didn't I do that? No, I think I should have done it when I was first putting it. Sorry. Okay, let's have a look at the reference level again. Create component, and here reference level offset from host. Well, let's means that I can change it here. Let's make it 100. Apply. Okay. Alright. Will it work? Okay, let's have a look at it in 3D. Right. Oh, yeah. 100. Let's make it 1000. Apply. Yep. Yep. Maybe 1000 is too high. We have to make it 80. 800. Apply. As you can see, we have basically reference level. We have basically, I need to move it like that. Mirror it. Center. Done. 3D. Yeah, we basically embedded another family inside in a family that we are working on. Okay, so basically you can create complex objects with with new other objects embedded inside them. Okay, so that is the idea. I wanted to show one more thing which I forgot to mention. If I click on new family and if I choose window, okay, you could be curious about that. A new window. Now see this opening, how does it work? Have a look at it in 3D. There is this thing, it's an opening. So in the window, the opening comes with the family, and that line basically creates the opening inside the wall. Okay, so when you have that line, it's defined as the opening cut. It creates a door, a window opening inside the wall that you're working on. Okay, so that's how it works. All right, I think that's all I wanted to show you. And as you can see, you can do many things, and it's possible to create your own objects in many different creative ways. And also make sure that you can make sure that the objects are not using a lot of resources, like they are not large, they are not very complex, and they work great. Okay? Alright, I think I will stop here and we'll continue next week with a few more other things, and then we'll probably conclude. Okay? See you next week, and bye.